today is to take you through what we're going to call as a very brief lab induction. And what we're going to work through pretty much is the same in any wet lab. This is our chemistry lab here at the college, and it would be the same, regardless whether at college, university, whatever. Typically, if you're going to walk into the lab, and when you're doing an experiment, you have to wear safety glasses, and if you're in the senior school, lab coats are supplied as well. So these are the safety glasses, and they'll be available somewhere in your lab. And typically, I'm not doing a practical right now. Obviously, if I was, I'd need to have my reading glasses down. And there's certain sorts of glasses that you can use, and these are designed to go over the top of your reading glasses. So even though that looks okay, strictly speaking, it's not. It's probably like safety guards. Disposing of chemicals. Most labs will have a special bin for glass, and for us it's just located near the entrance to the lab. And a lot of students tend to want to put disposed or used chemicals into the rubbish bin, and that's a no-no. We don't put any chemicals into the bin. The only thing we put in there is maybe a bit of paper after we've cleaned up at the end of the lab. So you'll find, if we just follow me over here, you'll find that typically if we are dealing with any chemicals that are toxic, particularly heavy metals, our lovely lab assistants will have trays in the fume hood, and you'll tip all the residues into the fume hood, or it'll come back to the trolley that will be at the front of the lab. The other thing to understand in relation to this, and I'll unlock this door won't be locked during practical, is things like the safety shower and also the eye washing station. So if Krishna just follows me. So this is our eye washing shower, our eye washing station, and then our shower. You don't want to pull that unless you have to, it makes a huge mess. But essentially the whole idea is if I cover myself in acid, I need to come in here straight away, and I need to get that off my body as quick as I can. Same thing with this. All we do is open up the flushing things and hit that, and our place is in there and we're flushed straight away. Alright, let's go, Krishna, we'll keep going. You might also find during experiments that other students are partway through doing experiments, and so the main thing to think about this is not to touch any equipment if it's not your equipment. And this is a senior titration, we're partway through, and you will find other gear that just stays in the lab. So basically, if it's not part of your practical, you don't touch it. This lab is also set up with standard kits, and so the standard kits you'll find for this lab are basically in the cupboard, in the two centre cupboards, and that's a standard kit. Your teacher will show you how to use all the equipment appropriately, and that's all part of your normal skill level for any practical that you'll do. The benches you'll notice right now are reasonably spotless, but all the benches also provided with the cleaning gear. This is not for your hands, it's actually for the bench. And also the sinks need to be left clean at the end of a lesson, and the teachers will normally go and check that is actually spotless. The other thing to look at are the exits, and the exits are normally clearly labelled, and the exits you'd only use in case of emergency, and your teacher will tell you, which exit you're going to take. Most labs, or most all labs these days, should have safety blankets and master switches. And what we find over here is the safety blanket. Instructions are on that, we never have to use it. And then there are the master switches here, and if it's a real issue, the teacher will come and hit these, and that will turn off the gas and the power to the entire lab. So students don't go near this at all, okay, for obvious reasons. It tends to sort of turn the whole class off all at once. Other things to be wary of in the lab, really it's common sense, but a lot of students tend to struggle with that. And that means if you're not sure about something or equipment that you're using, simply come and ask the teacher or ask our lab assistant, and they'll certainly make things fairly clear about what we expect of you while you're in the lab. Other than that, typical things like before you do the experiment, you need to have read through the experiment prior to the actual experiment that you're doing. Attempt to understand what you're trying to achieve and also what equipment you're going to be using and any issues that you might have with that equipment. That's typical protocol that we do when you do an experimental write-up. One of the things is safety issues, particularly at Year 12. You have to identify all those safety issues as well. And there will be occasions where we've got chemicals that are an issue, and they will have materials safety data sheets that comes out with the chemical, and then of course I've read it, and in theory you're supposed to have read those data sheets as well. But apart from that, that's really about it, except for at the end of the experiment, you've got to clean off your hands obviously, and the benches need to be wiped down and the sinks need to be wiped down as well. And I forgot to mention gloves. We only provide gloves depending on what we're doing in the context of the experiment. The gloves don't sit inside this lab, but you will find in some labs where the gloves will be on a dispenser on the wall somewhere, and you might use the gloves if you're using concentrated acid. But that's really about it. That's what we try to do. So we're supplying most of the safety gear within the lab, and obviously the teacher will take you through or demonstrate anything practical before it happens. And like I said, safety first, great place to work in, but we want to be able to leave at the end of the day without any issues at all. And that's about it.